Hello everyone, Sean Smithson with Smithson Creations. So, beginning of this video, I wanted to announce that I am doing a giveaway. I'm not sure how many parts are on this video yet, but there's going to be a giveaway on each part. So, either you have a choice of getting a 50 pack of the or the sampler pack that they Clean Spore Abrasives has, and that is woodworkingshop.com. Be sure to check that out if you don't want to wait. And I personally am switching to the Clean Spore Sandpaper. I think it's a lot better. It lasts longer, and it's just with the hole patterns that are on it versus the Diablo that I was using. As you can see, if you have an 8-hole pattern, you get all 8 holes are clear, so your dust collection will be a lot better. So you'll either have a choice of this, or they have a 10-pound box of sandpaper, which are like cutoffs or end of rolls. So, and that's like $100 value. So that's quite a bit of sandpaper, and you can use that for, you can cut your own shapes out, whatever you need. So all you have to do to enter: subscribe, comment, tell me what you like, dislike, constructive criticism. But I'd rather not have one-word comments like "let me win" or "hi" or "me." Make it a good comment. I would appreciate that. And then be sure to go to Smithson Creations Handcrafted Woodworking on Facebook and like that page. So if you're a winner, then I have an easier way to contact you as well. So, and then we can get you your prize. So, or your prize. So that's all I ask is just subscribe and comment. So, and then be sure to check out the page if you want. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And what else is there? I think that's it. So enjoy the video, and this is what I'm making. Hey everyone, Sean Smithson here with Smithson Creations, and as you can see, I have a friend of mine from Wyoming came down here to play in the shop and help me build a sandpaper cabinet. So excited about this build, and he's going to be teaching me a lot of stuff that I don't know, like how to use a dado. So I'll let Andrew introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Andrew Partipillo. I'm the owner of True North Custom Woodworking Cabinetry, based out of Riverton, Wyoming, and I'm happy to be here, Sean. It'll be a fun day.
Yeah, it will. So thank you for showing up and helping. So we will not keep a dragged out introduction, and we'll have fun and start to build now.
All right, so Sean, we got our board here that we need to break down into some smaller pieces, and we've got the right width. We've got this really long board. It's not safe when we need a small part to run through the saw. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to break it down into some smaller pieces that are a little safer to go through the saw. So what we'll do, a little bit more control, is get this piece cut down to a size that we can cut into those smaller pieces a little bit later. Another little tip when you're cutting big sheets like that, as you come through the saw, and this one's past the blade, just push it off, and then push your next piece to the side immediately before you pull it. Okay. Straight out to the side. Or twist it just so it gets away from that blade. That way that corner never catches that and comes back and gets you either. Another tip for both Sean and everyone on YouTube: if you're working with 2 people on a table saw and someone's catching on the outfeed, all that person should be doing is supporting that piece as it comes out. They shouldn't pull it, they shouldn't twist it. The person on the other side of the saw in control of the cut is the one that controls the movement. All you do when you're on the back side is receive it and just hold it. So now we need 8 more of these pieces.
8 more. Alright everyone, so now we're going to be cutting dados. We had decided not to go with the Craig screws or the pocket hole screws and do dado cuts because I needed to learn how to do dados anyway. So I have the it's a screwed dial width dado, and comes with a chart that tells you how many chipper blades you need, and turning this dial a certain amount of clicks is will push this plate out, or push the blade out, right? This way? Yeah, push the blade out this way so you can dial in the width of your dados. And it's a really nice set. I'll definitely put this on in the description so you guys can check it out. Got it on Amazon. So, and then also got a Dado Zero clearance insert plate. So brand new, so we're going to cut the hole in there too.
Sean asked how, now we've got the Dado Stack installed, how would we cut safely a new zero clearance slot in this insert? So the way we'll do that, first we're going to start by lowering the blade. You want to lower it all the way, make sure there's no riving knife in it, and anything that can hit the blade is moved out of the way, any kind of locking lever or anything like that. So now that we've got this all the way down, we'll insert our insert. And you see some people using the fence. I'm not a big fan of doing that because you're only holding it down on one side. As you're raising the blade, especially with a Dado Stack, you're making so much contact that it can be dangerous. It lifts the insert, and it can pull it out, shoot it. It's just a very dangerous thing to do. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 scrap pieces of wood, we'll align them on either side of the insert, clear of where the blade should come up, and we'll clamp those down to the table saw. Our eyes and our ears on, we'll go ahead and cut this. So what I'll do is I'm going to turn the saw on. I'm going to slowly raise the blade through it, listening to the saw for any kind of feedback or bogging down or anything like that, until I've raised the blade all the way through the insert. Before why I raised the blade so much higher than what I'm going to be cutting, or why don't I go all the way. The reason I don't go all the way is you're not going to be making rabbets or dados or any kind of cut with this blade that's 2 inches thick. You don't need that much. But if it's shallower and you have room in the front and the back of the blade, that's where the wood's making contact. That's not where it's shearing off. So you don't need exact fit on the front and the back. You just want the width to be exact fit. So we've done this safely, and now this dado and this zero clearance insert are ready to use.
Now, I have a question.
Go for it.
For this. Can you use a dado safely without a zero clearance plate? Or
yes. You can't use one without. The zero clearance insert it doesn't help. It helps with some safety because you have some good stuff around it. Okay. But what you're going to prevent is tear out, especially in a product like plywood. Just like a normal zero clearance insert, we're preventing tear out from the side of the blade hitting the wood. Right. It supports those wood fibers. I don't recommend using a Dado Stack with no insert plate at all. But if you've got one and you're smaller than the width that we've made here, those wood fibers won't be supported on one side, but it's still safe to use.
Okay.
You don't need one for each individual size.
Okay.
All right, so now that we've got our insert ready, our dado stack set up, what we need to do is check the width, make sure these are gonna fit. So we've got 2 scrap pieces from the same board that we're building the rest of the casework out of, and we're gonna make sure our dado is the right stack, or right size stack. So I've got it all set up there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a test piece, a test cut in here. It doesn't really matter how far away from the fence it is, but I wanna see, just get a good width on that to see if it fits here. Go ahead and do that. And so what we're running into is our dado stack is a little bit too thin. It's a little bit too thin for the board we got. So we'll raise the blade and use the dial on it to increase the thickness. There we go. Good. All right, so now what we're doing is we're setting up a temporary sacrificial fence. We know the width of this is exactly the width of this plywood, and we're going to be using that for the back later on. So get that in there, and all I'm doing is setting it so it's just touching, just kisses the edge of that blade. I'll clamp this high on here for temporary so I can slide a piece underneath it. And as long as your fence is square to your table, this will be just fine. You don't have to clamp it any lower. So we'll take the 4 pieces that we have for our main cabinet casework sides, and then what we're going to do is we're going to run a rabbet down one side of it, and that's going to be the side that goes to the back. So we'll get our height set real fast. On this particular cabinet, I suggested Sean goes to about half the depth of the wood on 3/4 inch. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So what we'll do on this, and if you're more comfortable using a gripper, you can. When I was taught, we didn't have things like the gripper. What I'll do is I'll actually control the plywood from away from the blade. The important thing to know when you're going through a rabbet cut is you're not cutting all the way through the wood. Same thing with the dado, it's not a through cut. You still want to keep your hands away from it, so I'm never going to feed the board and put pressure here, because if something happens, I'm going to come right down on the blade. And then, so I'll feed and I'll control it from outside, push all the way through the work all the way through the blade, and then come off. There is no riving knife, so you do have to be careful of things contacting the back of the blade, but it's not a through cut. It's not. Hopefully it won't throw it if you're controlling the workpiece correctly and keeping even pressure against the fence. Oh. All right, we'll go ahead and cut these.
All right. Are you ready?
So we just cut a rabbet on the edge of this board. We'll do this 3 more times. And any little piece you have on the edge here, it just pops right off your finger. I'll give it a try. So now these, I want to put a rabbet right there. I'm using the miter square here because it supports this piece. It's a very long piece. The same rules apply. You don't want to cut a long piece on this either because you can lose control of that. A longer piece going through the blade, just never a good idea. But I have good support here where I can pull back and now just nice even feed into that blade. Now the sides are the main base of the cuts. Yep, main body. So now what we'll do is we're going to cut the three dados, excuse me, for the shelves that go inside of it. Alright, so we're getting ready to set up and cut our dados for the shelves that go inside. It's important to make sure you have the orientation of these correct, because if you cut both of these exactly the same, they're not going to line up when you go to put it together.
One top, one on the bottom.
Exactly. So I like to just start with my orientation when I'm looking at it, and I know I'm going to have to take both of these pieces, flip them this way, and then pass them through. So I'll take this piece first, and we'll start with this, and then that one will follow second. I'll just leave it in that orientation so I always have it in my mind where it's going to go. Both of our dados will line up. And now we know we want another 3-inch space. So I'll mark a 3-inch line. Then I just measure from this. And then as soon as that slows down, we'll adjust to match.
And this is going to be
Or the bottom. Wherever you want those discs of sandpaper to be.
Alright guys, so I really enjoyed having Andrew come visit. It's taught me a lot. He has to go, unfortunately, but give me enough information that I'll be able to finish this by myself, so I believe.
Yeah.
If not,
If not, he knows how to get a hold of me.
I'll make you come back over. But welcome anytime in the shop. Appreciate it. And
Thank
it's
you.
always fun to work with somebody. So
I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
me
thanks
too.
for having me.
So, all right. And so next clip, you'll see my ugly mug doing the rest. So see you guys in the next clip. I'm like, oh, I gotta go get you those baskets for your wife and kids.
Oh.
Where you go?
Okay. Is that thing on? This one's for you, JP.
Hey, that's it. Yeah. What do you think you're doing? JP put you up to that.